Howdy do y'all, this is John, and today we are talking about Resident Evil Requiem, a new video game that just got released a couple weeks ago. And then Resident Evil Requiem, it deals with Grace Ashcroft, an FBI agent, who was sent to this hotel only to be kidnapped by a former Umbrella scientist, Victor Gideon, and sent to this chronic care center. Leon follows, and after that, you go back and forth playing as the two as they try to stop Victor Gideon and the connections from getting what they think is a ultimate bioweapon. Now, getting into it, first and foremost, what I loved about this video game, right off the bat, Grace Ashcroft is immediately a relatable character. She isn't some super experienced FBI agent. This is clearly something a little bit new to her, and as a result, she is not as toned in as someone like Leon or Jill Valentine or Chris Redfield are when it comes to this situation. On top of that, she has an anxiety disorder, which sometimes gets the better of her, preventing her from being truly perfect, but adding a lot more to her character. And of course, Leon Kennedy is Leon Kennedy. We all know and love Leon Kennedy. He's clearly one of the best characters in the entire franchise. But they do at least one new thing with him, that Leon in this game, he is infected. He is infected with this virus that is spreading among Raccoon City survivors. They don't know entirely what it is, but it is badly affecting Raccoon City survivors, and now Leon has it, and it's only a matter of time before it kills him. So yeah, the stakes are pretty high in this game. As far as the story goes, the story is great. Like, this is gold tier Resident Evil storytelling. You're going through this care center, you're going through other places, including the ruins of Raccoon City. Not a spoiler, because Capcom said we're going back. You're learning things, you're reading, files, documents, watching found footage style videos, learning about what's going on, who the players are, and it's interesting. Now, I decided to do something a little bit different with this game, and I played it on two different consoles because, hey, I wanted to see what it looked like on different consoles, and also give you guys feedback on it. And no, it's not something mildly different like the Xbox and the PlayStation 5. Just the PlayStation 5 and the Nintendo Switch 2. Right off the bat, there is a graphical difference. The Switch 2 is technically not as strong as the PlayStation 5. However, it is still great looking on the Switch 2, and also, the more limited elements of the Switch 2 actually make the horror vibe a little bit more intense. You don't see things as clearly as you do on the PS5. I will admit, some of the controls are better on the PS5. The controls, when I get onto my, my item inventory and I'm playing as Grace, it was a little kerfunky. I had to use the actual arrow buttons a lot. But I recorded this shortly after a patch occurred, and it seems like it fixed that, issue. As far as my personal recommendation goes, I would argue play it on the Switch if you want true horror intensity, but if, 4K graphics is something you genuinely want, then yeah, the PS5. I also played on different perspectives. I played the PS5 on first person, Switch 2 on third person. I would recommend going with the actual, game developer's recommendation of playing Grace in first and Leon in third. Certain transitions occur, and it works a lot better with these transitions when you're playing these formats. Now on to the graphics. The graphics in this game are great. Capcom used an updated version of the RE engine, which they have been using since Resident Evil Biohazard. And holy crap, even on the Switch 2 versions, you can see reflections in windows and mirrors real easily, and it lines up in sync with your movements. Everything you do, it does at the same time. And that is an incredible visual look. Now, when it comes to the horror element of the game, obviously it's stronger on Grace's side than on Leon's side. But I will say this, Leon's, levels, when you play as Leon, it is definitely a lot more intense than Resident Evil 4. I did not find Resident Evil 4 to be a very scary game. And, that really bugged me about that game. But the horror element with Leon is a lot stronger than it was in RE4. Playing as Grace is terrifying. You're just sitting there going, yep, this is the guy who made Biohazard. It is extremely intense. The voice acting in the game is also top tier Resident Evil. Angela, the voice actress for Grace, does a great job. No problems here. Because, what she does with Grace, it makes the character come alive. The character comes to life, and, you're scared along with her. Leon's voice actor, Nika Bostalives, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. It's Greek to me, but the guy has been killing it since the Resident Evil 2 remake, and he does a great job here. He has a little bit of a more difficult job than in the previous two games because character is supposed to be sick, but the guy pulls it off. And the last thing I want to talk about is the music. Resident Evil has always been consistently great when it comes to music. This game's no exception. It's intense, suspenseful, action-packed, and gets the job done, and also makes everything more alive, so to speak. So in conclusion, Resident Evil Requiem, it is exactly what I wanted Resident Evil 9 to be, and then some. It's intense, suspenseful, you feel the horror, great characters with the great voice cast, gold standard storytelling. It's literally everything I wanted Resident Evil Requiem to be. I might do a spoiler talk, which I haven't done that in a while, but there is definitely more I want to talk about with this game. I loved it, and I can't wait to get back into it, because Resident Evil Requiem deserves a 10. Well, that's all the time I have for today. Please look forward to more videos real soon. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Please also subscribe if you're new to the channel. Please don't forget, I also have a secondary channel where I do gaming content. Please go check it out. And as per usual, please remember to Podetsky Welder.
I do have a question. When's the last time you brushed your teeth?